a great word of prayer. O most holy, eternal God and Father, we approach your throne on this your holy Sabbath day, which we have set apart and sanctified. And I ask, O Lord God, for the intervention of your Spirit, that I may speak according as you would have me. These things I ask in your name of Jesus Christ, our salvation. Amen. Brethren, I have to be very concise, very pointed. Right? Much of the things which I would have covered, Brother Shannon and Brother Hughes would have covered in the morning segment, right? So, just to reiterate a point that Brother Shannon had said, when you're reasoning about human rights, they cannot be taken outside of the context of the rights of God. Right? So, in reiteration, we know the rights of God. God has the right to be worshipped by all, and by virtue of him being the creator and as the source of existence for all. God has the right to be the source of revelation for all. He in his very nature is truth, and thus it is his prerogative to be the revelator of that truth. Right? Also, we know that God has the right to be judge of all. His very nature itself is righteousness, so he is the one most qualified to judge on the deviation or the adherence to the principles of righteousness that he made from his very nature, right? So, when touching on the rights of man, we also have to understand that rights sustain the existence of man, right? It also works in man fulfilling the purpose of his existence. So, we know, according to Isaiah 43 and verse 7, man was created for the glory of God. So that is to say, man's existence is hinged upon the glory of God, which is to serve him, which is to worship him, which is also to respect his rights. Right? So, the purpose of man is to respect and honor the rights of God. And in this, we're going to be divinely appointed rights of man, right? You know, since we know a man has the right to serve God, he also has the right to life, and he has the right to private property. Deuteronomy chapter, I read this. Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 12. Right? So we're looking at these rights in context to man's purpose of existence. Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 12. Right? And it reads, And now Israel, what doth Yahweh thy God require of thee, but to fear Yahweh thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve Yahweh thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul. So man has the right to serve God as defined there. He also has the right to life. Because we know as the scripture says, the living shall praise God and the dead cannot. Right? The right to private property. Scripture says that the heavens of heavens belong to the Lord, but the earth he has given unto the sons of men. Right? So since the proper application of the rights of man in turn reflects in the respect of the rights of God, any infringement upon the rights of man is also an attack on the rights of God. Right? So, it should be understood at this point that human rights are divine initiative and not a human invention. If the definition of rights were to originate with man, it would amount to little more than the idealistic opinions of a single individual or groups of individuals, and thus would undoubtedly serve to favor some and alienate others. Thus, some would be recognized as having less human rights than others, and thus being less human than others simply at the whims of men. As was the case when man began reinterpreting human rights from a Darwinian perspective and rejecting the divine origin. Right? I had a video I wanted to show here. But the principle of the divine origin of human rights was held for a while. And the introduction of Darwinian evolution, people started reinterpreting this. I mean, evidently, if man evolved and didn't have a creator, then the creator can't be the origin of human rights. And this eventually led to the idea that, you know, based on Darwinian evolution, some people were more evolved than others, and those some were more human than others. And, you know, they led to they actually hunting down the pygmies and so forth, and actually capturing them for study, talking about how to skin them to obtain their bones and so forth. Right? But it goes so scripture gives a summary statement concerning the purpose of man's existence. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 23 says, "Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is 23, oh my, sorry. It says, "Fear God," Ecclesiastes 12:30. It says, "Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man." It is in this that the divinely appointed parameters for the preservation of and purposeful existence of man can be found. That is to say, the codification of the rights and liberties of man can be found in the script of the Ten Commandments. Right? As Brother Shannon would have touched prior. You know, "I am Yahweh thy God that brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me." The right to serve God. "Thou shalt do no murder." The right to life. "Thou shalt not steal." Thou shalt not covet. The right to private property. So, now that we establish the rights of God, the divinely appointed rights of man, where then does civil governance fit into all this? Right? So, seeing the codification of the rights of man is found in the Ten Commandments. Civil government is to draw moral substance from the Word of God in the protection of the rights and freedoms of man. Right? So just social governance must start with the realization that man's rights are appointed by God himself. And thus the role of government is not to attempt to grant rights, for all possess these rights by virtue of being created human. But rather the role of civil government is to protect these rights from infringement. Right? Brother Shannon quoted the text in Romans chapter 13. Says the role of the state there. Right? Form of governance which God approves of. Right? It finds its basis in the recognition of the rights of God and the rights appointed by God to man. We must understand that the Spirit of God must have free reign to act upon the consciences of men and to bring each into the fulfillment of his individual purpose. In this, there must be no establishment of a national religion, no prohibition of religion, and no protection of religion. The Spirit of God must have free reign to convict men's hearts as he sees and to call each individually. Right? In 1787, the Continental Congress of the United States signed into the United States Constitution upon leaving Independence Hall. Benjamin Franklin was asked a question. And he said, the question was, "Sir, what did you give us?" And his response, "A republic, man, if you can keep it." So the overall philosophy that went into the forming of this document, right, is the same that was the impetus into the forming of the nation and is expressed in the Declaration of Independence. I just quote one line here. "We hold these truths to be self-evident. Amen. that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So, history has afforded us a clear view of what happens when men seek to do away with, disregard the rights of God, or to usurp the rights of God. Right? We have two prime examples in the two enemies of God and man. Right? Namely, the Roman popery and national atheism, king of the north and king of the south. So wherever a nation seeks to ignore God's right to be worshipped and seeks to abolish man's right to worship his Creator, there remains no moral force at all to restrain society from total anarchy and debauchery. Murder becomes rampant as life is valued little more than a loaf of bread. Private property is nothing more than a formality. It is seen clearly in the example of the French Revolution. Right? And all forms of government based on its sins. So, though the outward mantra was liberty, equality and fraternity, or life, or liberty, equality and fraternity, the setting aside of the laws of God and the moral influences of His word render these nothing but vain babblings. Though praised in many circles, honestly, right now, especially among the Democrats that we left in the United States, the French Revolution is actually viewed as a great achievement, as a blessing to man, enlightenment, freedom, and you really could see, and it's really no surprise, right? Because the very workings that happen there is what's working right with them, right? So, though it has some popularity in some circles, it's a frightening display of tyranny and oppression that occurs when one seeks to do away with God's right to be worshipped. The second example sees its rise in the man when man seeks to usurp God's right to be the sole source of revelation for us. We know this to be none other than Bishop of Rome, right? So religious liberty is viewed as a pestilence, and that all the world should be subject under him under threat of death and confiscation of property. The end result of the dishonoring of the rights of God always inevitably leads to the trampling of the rights of man. Tyranny is always the result. Right? So, the philosophy of republicanism is the natural operation of any civil government, but the Holy Spirit has worked upon the hearts of men. It is a reprieve afforded by God to give man the opportunity to hear the word and to serve him without fear. It is a gift that should be cherished and utilized while it lasts. Do so, brethren, during this time, and as we celebrate Republic Day, preach the gospel while we have it to do it freely, and long live the Reformation. Yeah. That's where I end by God's grace. Let's close with a word of prayer. O most Holy Father, I thank you again, Lord, for this Holy Sabbath day, for the convening with the brethren to speak your word, to share in the free society which you have given us, Lord. I pray, O Lord, that we will deal with our own selves to continue to take advantage of the graces which you have given us and use it to the fullest. I thank you again, Father. These things I ask in no other name but to Jesus Christ, revealer of your righteousness. Amen.